Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you're all doing well today. Today's story that I have chosen for us is called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs, told by A. Wolf. This story is one that we've read in our classroom many times before, and it doesn't get old. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs about huff and puff and blow your house down, but this story is told through the eyes of the wolf. And it's a little different than what you think it's going to be. And I think you're going to enjoy it. So we look at the cover, which is the front of the book, right? And the cover tells us lots of things. It tells us the story and the title, and it tells us who wrote it and who illustrated it, because that's very important, because someone worked really hard to write this book and someone took a lot of time to draw it. So we have to be respectful of books when we hold them. So this story was told by John Saiska and illustrated by Lane Smith. So let's go over. This is the front, the cover of the book, right? And this is the back, and this is the spine. And let's get started because this one's really good. So the first page doesn't have any pictures on it. It looks like this, and it's just words. See? It says, "Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs. Or at least they think they do, but I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. Remember, it's told by A. Wolf, so it's through his eyes. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault that wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think that you were big and bad too." You notice on this page how he's got a really tall burger, and then sticking out of the burger in a few places are some pretty weird looking ingredients. There's, look, someone's tail, and there's a paw, and there's some bunny ears. And look over here. See it? There's a nose. All kinds of things in there that we wouldn't put on a burger, but apparently a wolf thinks pretty tasty. So, but like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The true story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. This is how the wolf says this whole thing went down. Way back, and once upon a time, I was baking a birthday cake for my dear old granny, and I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. Look, he's making a cake. Look at the ingredients. Looks like he's got some flour and sugar and eggs and, oh no, bunny ears. And he's going, and look, he ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. And he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? See it down there? There's the house. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in, and I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, Little Pig, are you in?" No answer. I was just about ready to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake, and that's when I felt my nose start to itch, and I felt a terrible sneeze happening. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great big sneeze. Achoo! And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right there in the middle of all of it was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He'd been home the whole time. And it seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner just lying there, so I ate it up. and think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. Do you think he should have ate it? I don't know. I was feeling a little bit better, but I still didn't have a cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little bit smarter, but not by much. He built his whole house out of, that's right, sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house and nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And he yelled back at me, "Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." I just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on, and I huffed, and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great big sneeze. And you're not gonna believe this, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's, and when the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. What do you think so far? Now, you know food will spoil if you leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next brother's house. This guy was the first and the second little pig's brother. He must have had the brains of the family. He built his whole house out of brick. I knocked on the brick house door. No answer. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And you know what that rude little porker said? "Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again." Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about ready to go home and make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on, and I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again, and then that rude little porker yelled, "And your old granny can go sit on a pin." Look at, there's the piggy looking through the window. He looks pretty mean. Now, I'm normally a calm fellow, but when somebody talked about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. And when the cops showed up, of course, I was trying to break down the pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. You notice everybody that came to the house, look, they're all pigs. Taking pictures and having a microphone. The rest, they say, is history. Look, there's the newspaper advertisement. It says, "Big Bad Wolf." The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner, and they figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting, so they jazzed it up with all that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the Big Bad Wolf. That's it. That's the real story. I was framed. But maybe you could let me borrow a cup of sugar? What do you think? What do you think about that story? Does it seem likely that that wolf was just so innocent? He was just trying to borrow a cup of sugar, and all those little piggies wanted to do was be rude to him? Do you think that that's true? I just don't know. It could be. I don't know. So which one do you like better? Do you like this version of the 3 little pigs, or do you like the other version where they have them huffing and puffing and blowing the house down version? Which one do you like better? Which kind of house would you like to build? Would you build a house made out of straw? Would you make a house out of sticks? Would you make a house out of bricks? Because that one seems like the toughest of them all, right? That one seems the toughest. But It's your choice. You can draw me a picture of the big bad wolf or just Al, whichever one you want to draw, and make me a picture of which story that you like best. Okay? And tell your mom and your dad or grandma or grandpa about it. Send me a picture so I can see what you think. I can't wait to see everything. I miss you guys. I'll see you again tomorrow for tomorrow's story. Bye.